this is one of the PCBs, Rohit.
Yeah.
This is a single board computer. This particular board has about 2,600 components on it.
Wow. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
both bottom and
Right.
one bad shoulder joint
Yeah.
on this board can create a hell for us. At this point of time, we are the only company who have got an order from CERN, particle detection by CERN Geneva. 2011, the last time by opportunity is gone. If they want to reproduce the same design which is qualified, where do they get the parts? So that's where the obsolescence management comes. That part is obsolete. I mean, basically the part cost used to be around $12, and we have an experience of selling the same part at a price of 65,000 rupees.
Hello everyone. Welcome to the 36th episode of the Know Your Promoter series at Sunday Investing. We are currently in Hyderabad at the Merritronix facility with Mr. Amarnath ji, the promoter of Merritronix, whose IPO will be coming very soon. Thank you so much, for hosting us and having us here. Really looking forward to this interaction.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Rohit, for having me on your podcast. So Merritronix was incorporated in 1988, and it just coincided with my passing out in 1993 that the commercial operations started.
Right.
So I had a brief stint with civil services, which I was not very successful. So immediately I joined the company here, and the initial 5-6 years were bit of a struggle, but soon I could cope up with the environment, and we were then working on cable jointing kits, which we used to supply to Department of Telecommunications, then which eventually became BSNL, business with BSNL,
Okay.
which continued until 2012. But then we were at the advent of mobile phones. We started seeing a decline in the requirement, demand for the landline networks, which had a direct impact on the products that we were supplying to BSNL. So that's when there was always an underlying feeling that we had to get into electronics. So, I mean, the company's name was also named after electronics. Okay, of course, comes from my mother's name, Mary. Okay, so that's how it has been named, Merritronix. I mean, the initiation was with an idea that we'll be manufacturing maybe about 10,000 electronic voting machine PCB assemblies. But then it changed completely to the opposite side, where we had to deal with high mix, low volume kind of requirement.
Right.
So basically, we started making almost like we handle about 3 to 5 SKUs every day. I mean, basically 3 to 5 different types of PCB assemblies we manufacture. But so that actually taught us a lot, because the SMT lines are meant for volume production, but we started using it for high mix, low volume kind of requirement. And initial, maybe until 2008, it was sort of learning curve for us as well, because the kind of the quality that customers expected, since the customers themselves were new to this technology, and then at the far end there were principals who were expecting the quality on par with what they get from others, mature markets like China or anywhere else. So to understand that gap, it took us almost like 4 to 5 years. And then I can say by 2009, we were like, we reached those, we at least were at the initial stages of this maturity. And then since 2012-13, we, because of our history, Honeywell, ABB, Islances, we even work with Xilinx, we work with analog devices, we work with microchip. We are still working with microchip for making their test boards for the taped out chips.
Okay.
So, though we had big names on our customer list, the business was still small because it was limited to those few engineering samples. The big step was with Honeywell, where they started doing their protos which ran into from anywhere between 20 to 50 numbers, including material, I mean including the inputs. Until then it was more like job work kind of thing. So that was a one milestone that I can mention of, where the top line started increasing in electronics division. Until then it was the earlier division which was getting big revenues. Then as the years passed, as you know, Hyderabad is not a, I mean, it doesn't have many product making companies in volumes. So our revenues were pretty stable, and then sometimes, you know, they used to dip the consecutive year.
Right.
So we always used to be on tenterhooks where how the market would be the coming year. Come 2019, when the COVID broke out, the whole dynamics changed in the market because the customers were, all of a sudden they faced a acute shortage of electronic components, because most of the components were being produced in Asian, China, to name it. And China is the place where the COVID actually got initiated. So companies which used to procure components with a lead time of about 2 to 3 months, all of a sudden started seeing a lead time of 2 to 3 years. So that kept them, I mean, they had to see for solutions, and then that's when we were able to offer our customers that we can support them with the components at a much lesser lead times, because since we were supporting Honeywell, others with material, we established our supplier base in Asian countries, apart from US and Europe. So once we delivered, that's when the DPSUs stationed in Hyderabad started believing that they can outsource orders to EMS partners incomplete, right from it's like build to print, right from procurement, assembly, testing.
Right.
The other avenue that opened up at that point of time was the component supply itself.
Okay.
Apart from the turnkey manufacturing, the component supply itself. And 2 or 3 things happened simultaneously. Like the other, one more channel that opened up was generally sourcing obsolete components is a difficult task. You need to get
Correct.
genuine parts. That's the trick.
Right.
Genuine parts, and the customer is always suspicious that the parts might be, since these are obsolete parts, they might be counterfeit. So we could deliver to the customers genuine parts. So the contemporary parts as well as obsolete parts.
Yeah.
The other surprising thing that happened was the customers were also open to the idea of a form fit function equivalent for the components which were obsolete. That opened up. That opened up for us a need to do some engineering around the contemporary parts, which could be put into a shape and form such a way that they become form fit function equivalent onto their board. They don't have to change the design of the board for the sake of one single component. So these three things happened almost simultaneously, and then we started seeing a very good opportunity in obsolescence management, and for last 1.5 years we have been working on that more focusedly, because the rest of the parts, the component sourcing and component trading is it is basically buy and sell.
Right.
And as far as turnkey build to print is like, we source, process them, sell them.
Understood.
So as a part of this obsolescence management, we were one of our customers has shared a list of 400 line items, out of which we identified about 40 line items, and of which 4 of them we have delivered samples to the customer for evaluation. One of the part, as we are speaking, is in fact not one, 2 of the parts as we are speaking are tested and qualified.
Okay.
We should be getting formal communication soon.
So obsolescence, since actually there are a few different things you covered which I want to touch upon. Since you're talking right now about this obsolescence piece, can you just explain what exactly this is? Why is it important? Because I know it is a big part of what you guys do and want to do in the
So
future.
obsolescence, basically all the OEM semiconductor companies, the Moore law says that the density of semiconductors in terms of diodes or gates is going to double every year, right? So, which means shrinking of component size, which in turn means shrinking of the whole electronics subsystem.
True.
Right? So, suppose say today a part is released in the market with certain functionalities. Down the line, in about 5 years, the OEM doesn't stick, he wants to upgrade his product line, which is smaller, which has more functionality embedded into it.
Right.
And then this way OEM, basically when they are offering more functionality, the demand, the market demand also changes, and then for them they get an opportunity to increase the price level or whatever. So it is their way of operating.
Okay.
So now what happens is, after 5 years, this part they start making it end of line equipment, end of line device, and then they give a time period of about 2 years or so for saying that this is the last time buy opportunity. In those 2 years, all the operators in the market who are using those devices have to pick up the component from the market, from the production.
Yeah.
Now what happens is, in defense especially, they are on the other end. For them, typically now in the last 2-3 years the private defense companies have come in, but if we go back beyond those 2-3 years, the defense research or engineering was concentrated with government defense labs or DPSUs. Now, by their own processes, the typical design time for them is about, let us say, 2 to 3 years, because they have to go through a lot of qualifications.
Right.
And then once the design has come to a level where the production, they have to do some samples.
Production.
Yeah, that takes about typically another 6 months, and then they have to do a POC, then they have to do field tests and flight tests in case of aerospace.
Yeah.
This whole thing itself takes nothing less than 5 years. And I can cite an anecdote. We started working with RCA lab on IIR seeker, infrared imaging ray seeker, back in 2006.
Okay.
And in 2012, actually it was shelved. After all the qualifications, it was shelved, and again it got revived about in 2017. So the time span that we are seeing is about 2 decades.
Correct.
So in this time, the main Tiger Shark processor, the processor that they were using, became obsolete in 2011. Fortunately, the labs purchased the whatever quantity the OEM offered and kept it in stock, thinking that they will be getting an order.
Right.
So this is the time. These are the timelines that the research projects happen in defense labs. So now 2011, the last time buy opportunity is gone. Now where do they get, if they want to reproduce the same design which is qualified? Where do they get the parts? So that's where the obsolescence management comes. Actually, the obsolescence management comes at the time of design itself. The design document will have that these parts are becoming obsolete, or some document will be there which says that in so many years this will be done. Probably they have to get ready with a new design, or they have to find an alternative replacement for that processor. So we Merritronix, what it is doing is that, whether the designer could take that step or not, we are able to solve their problem by sourcing the genuine parts. These are from grey market. 2, identifying functional equivalent and making it into a form fit equivalent.
Got it.
So that's what we are doing. In the process, very recently what we could do is we could indigenously manufacture 2 of the Cypress parts. What we did was we could identify die banks across the world, and then the package into which the die gets assembled. Both of them we could import them and get them assembled in India, and then offered the part to the customer, not with OEM marking, but with our own market.
Understood. And is this like a higher margin business for you relative to the?
Yeah, it is, because it is a higher margin business, because one thing is, not many of the operators in the market
can do this.
Thing is, they know of the requirement, but the time, they do not dedicate so much time onto it, because for them, most of the distributors, for them it is like revenues, they have to keep generating revenues.
Right.
And if they have to work on one single product for 5 or 6 months to to make to offer a solution, and for which they are not even sure whether they will get an order or not. They are not ready to put in efforts. So that's where we are coming in.
Got it.
And the customers, they are ready to pay whatever we ask, provided the solution is good. I mean, it is working for them.
Got it.
So we have seen margins, really exorbitant margins, like sometimes even 100%.
Understood.
But on average, I see that 30% is
30%
good to quote.
Nice. Understood. So, sir, if we come to your core turnkey management, which is maybe the bread and butter of what you do, can you just show, what kind of products you make? Just help people understand and, visualize the products that you guys make.
Yeah.
And what the manufacturing process is like.
So, this is one of the PCBAs, Rohit.
Yeah.
This is a single board computer. On this, as you see, this is a RISC processor. This is a FPGA, Xilinx FPGA. So this particular board has about 2,600 components on it.
Wow. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
both bottom and
right.
one bad solder joint
Yeah.
on this board can make this create a hell for us. I mean, basically, when we are testing, the board doesn't work. So the what we have learned from 2002 to 2008 is that every single joint is important, and we could grow to a level where we are able to give 98% yield on this electronics assemblies.
Okay.
So basically, the first time pass yield is 98%.
Okay. So only 2% gets rejected, 98% passes
Yeah.
on the first.
Yeah.
Understood, sir. And what is the typical process by which this is manufactured? What are the facilities you have here to help manufacture, such a
Yeah.
product?
So basically, the facilities that we have here, as any normal SMT line, consists is right from loader, PCB loader to PCB unloader. We have a stencil printing, solder paste printing machine. We have pick and place machines, and we have a Panasonic line,
Right.
and then a REM reflow oven, and then we have automated optical inspection systems. We also have X-ray inspection systems. We also have flying probe tester.
Okay.
These are the equipment that we have, and what we plan to do next is to
Right.
augment the facility to a Industry 4.2 facility with another completely a fresh line.
Okay. So that will be a second SMT line.
Yeah,
to
that
go
will be
with.
a second discipline.
Okay,
Yes.
got it. So apart from the SMT line, you also do through hole.
Exactly. So without through-hole components, the none of the very few electronics assemblies get completed,
Got it.
because like you see the peripherals here, the connectors, the RF connectors, like these connectors, earning connectors, right? High density connectors. This will probably basically the through-hole devices largely have higher current carrying capacity.
Okay.
SMD connectors are more at a signal level, or lower voltages.
Got
kind
it.
of thing.
Got it.
So without TM through-hole devices, an electronics assembly will never be completed.
And is it a fair understanding that the through hole also helps in adding more more reliability or high? The PCBs can withstand higher stress, higher heat, higher, is that also one of the advantages?
See, normally through-hole devices these days, see anywhere the component ratings are beyond 5 volts. I mean, under 5 volts, mostly the devices are surface mount devices.
Right.
The upper threshold is about 12 volts.
Okay.
Anything beyond 12 volts, largely about 80% of the time they will be through-hole devices. Like say, we are talking about transformers, we are talking about toroids, right, inductors or connectors. These are the ones which will be largely through-hole devices.
Understood.
And see, since the pins go through a hole and get soldered on the other side, they are not easy to get plugged out, not like any surface mount devices.
Yeah. So that would be important, I think, when you're looking at defense applications, aero applications.
Yeah, you are right in one way, but SMGs are able to withstand the environmental test requirements as specified by
Understood.
defense establishments. Basically, the components themselves are graded in such a way. I mean, like mill grade. I mean, when the components are graded, normally it is more on the temperature range. Okay, so the extreme temperatures, normally a commercial grade probably would be rated anywhere between minus 25 degrees to plus 60 degrees, something like that. For military requirements, it will be somewhere minus 55 degrees to as high as 155 degrees.
Understood. So the component themselves.
Yeah. So there are different parts. Like one is mill grade parts. There are radiation hardened parts for space requirements.
Got it.
So it's like that.
So what is the capacity that you guys operate in today? What is your capacity utilization and the IPO funds? Is that being used to increase your capacity, or is it for other reasons?
The present utilization of the line is around 60%.
60%, sure.
Yeah, and the funds which we are seeking from IPO is to set up a world-class manufacturing facility. I mean, basically, we intend to reach out to customers based out of US or Europe or overseas.
Right.
And when these customers are used to the manufacturing facilities set up in China predominantly, and they have an experience of working with them for maybe 3 decades.
Right.
There are huge capacities set up there, and the facilities are also in line with their expectations, which is not the case in India. I mean, we are starting now, so if we want to reach out to such customers, we have to meet their expectations in terms of the facility requirements, and we want to be a showcase company, at least in Hyderabad. I'm not sure, to my knowledge, there is no Industry 4.2 compliant line. Right. That's my aspiration.
Understood. So one last question on the products that you make. So what is the final application that some of these products, I mean, you have a range of products, and who are the end clients, typical end clients?
Oh yeah. So basically, this particular assembly is it's a single board computer. This is used in radar.
Okay.
Radar equipment. So basically, once the digital signal, the signals come, and then they process the signals using digital signal processors. signal processing cards.
Yes.
Then the input is given to this card. This will process the data and then give an output to the user. So this is for radar, and like we do these boards. This is a AFC. This is for a project called AFCS.
Okay.
This is for automatic flight control system.
Okay.
Right, and then we have one second. We have manufactured PCBs for. This is a signal processing board. So from this board, the data is given to the single
Right.
board computer that I was
Right.
referring to you
Right.
earlier.
Right.
Then we have made. This is a side lobe blank.
Okay.
This is a PCB for the same customer. So you see here, right? This is an airflow sensor.
Okay.
And if you see bit closely, the marking here is provided for a part that was actually intended to be placed. I mean, required to be placed in the
Right.
board, but that particular part became obsolete.
Okay.
And we work with the OEM and then use their present part to make it adapted it to
Adapted.
the
Got it.
earlier requirement.
Got it.
And this particular order we got it on proprietary basis because we were able to offer this solution and
So
no
direct.
other
Yeah, understood.
no one else could give it.
Understood.
So
I had seen some parts upstairs where you guys are working with, I think CERN, CERN,
yeah.
for some particle detection.
Yeah, so this is a RVIC board, radar video interface board that we
Okay.
have been doing for the same customer. Then we have, this is for mission computer board MCDP project for one of the avionics customers.
Understood.
Yeah.
So can you share
So-
some of the clients, like, or is that? Is it
Yeah,
okay
so
for you?
our clients predominantly are HAL, BEL,
Okay.
BDL, ECIL, Honeywell, ABB,
Right.
and CERN, as you said.
Yes.
CERN, we are doing, we are one of the, at this point of time, we are the only company who have got an order from CERN for PCB assembly.
Right, right.
And these boards are used for particle detection by CERN Geneva.
Nice.
So what happens is these are very high speed boards with like the signal speed, I mean, that is 12 picoseconds. So if there is any aberration in the manufacturing
yeah,
process, that the
Tolerance
process,
is
yeah,
so-
it will
so
not be
low.
detected.
Yeah, correct. Understood. Understood. That sounds like very specific niche.
Yeah,
one. So I'll move on a little bit to the numbers now. Perhaps you can just help people understand now what is your typical. So FY26 is already
Yeah, I would
completed.
like also to.
Yes. Sure.
Yeah.
Is this the one? Yeah.
Yeah. So this is again a form fit function equivalent for a Texas part,
Okay.
which is PTN 04050 AAH. So
Okay.
basically, this particular part is used in many of the missile programs, and the specialty of the product that Texas made is that it is a mill grade part. And it can deliver, it can work, it can deliver 6 watts of power, and it can given a positive input, it will give out negative voltage.
Okay.
So that part is obsolete. I mean, basically the part costs used to be around $12, and we have an experience of selling the same part at a price of 65,000 rupees.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
So that's what I meant
Yeah,
when in this
the
particular.
margins
So
can be
yeah.
anything.
So what we did was, I mean, since even in the obsolete market, I mean, if we are just buying the original part and selling, the quantities would be limited, and
Understood.
the price actually gets
Can go. Understood,
getting
sir.
pushed higher and higher.
Understood.
So what we did was we took a contemporary part. This is the present part.
Okay.
And we did some engineering around it here, added another small hardware here,
Right.
and now it does exactly what
That
the
original part was
parts
doing.
used to do.
Understood.
And this
Interesting.
goes directly and sits into this thing. So now we are doing a thermal testing on this
Okay.
part.
Okay. Sir, if I'm not mistaken, about 10% of your business today is from this obsolescence engineering. Is there any plan to scale this up and become a bigger part of your business?
We aspire to bring it up to about 25 to 30% of our revenues.
Okay. In the next
go
2-3 years.
Yeah.
Okay, understood, sir. So let's move on a little bit to the numbers now.
Yeah.
I think FY26 is over. So what has what is the scale of the business today? What are the typical, EBITDA and net margins, and what do you see, just overall at a growth level, how do you see the next few
Yeah,
years?
so we have clocked 155.6 crores on the revenue side, and at the PAT level we are about 9.6% at this point of time.
Understood.
And we see that the revenues will keep growing at the same 25 to 30% annual rate, and the profits after tax, we expect the same to grow around anywhere between 15 to 20% year on year.
Okay.
Yeah. So if we are good enough to make all those 40 components that we were talking about, indigenize them,
Right.
it could get, the PAT itself could get anywhere between 15 to 17%.
15%. So you see a large move from your PAT current margin of 10%. You think that the PAT margin itself can become close to 15% if your obsolescence becomes a larger and indigenized. Understood, sir. And sir, what is your typical working capital like? How much working capital do you require?
Yeah, Rohit. So it's an interesting question. So basically, in most of the defense projects, what happens is, especially on the power side, right? I mean, the ruggedized power supplies are required, and which have to withstand 10G kind of shocks,
Right.
and then vibrations, and then also withstand temperatures, as I told you earlier, minus 55 to as high as 155 degrees. At this point of time, there are not many manufacturers in India who are able to make such hardware components. So these are being I mean, there are handful of manufacturers who are based out of the US, and these parts comprise almost like 20% of the whole BOM cost. And for these, what happens is the lead time, the payments have to be made in advance. Only after getting the payment, they will start manufacturing. The lead times are typically about 4 to 5 months from the date we pay them. And then if we get to a detailed level, the typical bill of material will be having about 225 components or something, 250 line items. So even if one single line item is shortage for some reason in the market, the whole BOM is stuck. So we are seeing a cycle time of about 6 to 9 months for our working capital cycle to be completed.
Right.
In some cases, the orders the customer themselves place an order for total project order for 5 years. So which is an acknowledgement that the working capital cycle time required is
High,
huge.
yeah.
I mean, so it is. We fortunately or unfortunately we handle few of such projects, and I think we are probably 6 to 9 months is the best case, and we are able to achieve it.
Got it, sir. So you mentioned one thing which I wanted to ask earlier actually, which is just on your order book and your, I think today you have about a 90 crore order book, which is roughly about 7-8 months of revenue. Like what is that order book typically like? Is it generally you have 7-8 months of revenue as order book, or is there a period where the order book expands and then where more orders come? Would you typically have 1 year, 2 years of visibility?
So it is like this, Rohit. I mean, so we generally we have orders in place for about 6 to 8 months or so.
Right.
We are, I mean, in general, there could be an impression that looking at the tier 1 defense companies who have orders for 10 years, multi years, like HAL has got 62,000 crores orders for next 10 years, right? BEL has order books of similar line. So for them it is like the systems that they deliver, right? So when it percolates down to us, I mean, basically, let us be in their shoes and then start seeing how we manage a project. Now, we have an order for 100 sets, right? So, and then they get a delivery time for say 10 years.
Okay.
So they actually get an order, say 10 systems a year or something.
Right.
So basically for us it turns out that for this year we ordered 10 sets to our suppliers.
Yes.
So basically that's the reason why we do not have exact mapping in terms of order book from the customer.
Right.
But with HAL, who is our one of our major customers, we have their job work, which we still continue to do, and then we'll be continuing to do that. We have orders at least for next 5 years. But we do not mention that because they comprise a very small percentage of our revenues.
Sure. Understood.
But then they are going through a transformation where they want to go for build to print. So then that order book is going to, from especially HL, it's going to balloon out.
Understood. So one last question, just on, given you've been running this business for so long, what are the big risks you see? Like, what are things that keep you up at night, or things that you feel you haven't fully gotten around, or you think could affect the business that investors should be aware about?
See, I mean, for some reason I'm a very complacent guy. I never saw risk, because the businesses, when handled well, I mean, without losing focus, will never get into a risky situation. I will give you an example. Our own example. In 2012, what happened was the earlier business, that the telecommunication cable jointing, it was a big revenue generator. It was almost, in that particular year there was another thing of a scam that happened in telecom sector, Sukram case. I think your batch, right? You passed out. Yeah. So that hit us really bad. I mean, that particular year it was zero. And then we had just a revenue of 4 crores from our new division.
Okay.
We still booked profit. We were able to contain our costs. the business was coming in because we were able to deliver. So, okay, keeping this, this exception aside, the risk that I see at this point of time is due to war or whatever reason, the dollar is still going up.
Right.
So, if there were some orders for which we quoted earlier,
Right.
and when the
price.
earlier
Right.
that parity is sometimes concerns me, but
Right.
it has actually worked to our advantage especially in CERN's order, because when we quoted to them it was 82 and now it is
90, so it's
80
yeah.
or 95 or something.
Right.
So probably we are taking hit somewhere where unknowingly,
Yeah.
because we still continue to order parts.
Correct.
But we have an efficient purchasing
Right.
team, so
Right.
we are able to still see a gross margins of around 20% on each
Got it.
project. Yeah.
Got it, sir. Got it, sir. So, is there any message you want to leave with the investors who will come on board?
Yeah, the only message that I would like to give our investors is that we are a company focused around customers, and we believe that customers are biggest assets, and we have a track record of retaining customers over last 2.5 decades, and most of our customers are acquired by word of mouth, and now we plan to be more aggressive and inorganic, and given this, I see that we will be doing a very great job with the money that is mobilized through IPO, and we solicit your support for the same.
Thanks for that, Amarnath ji. Really
Yeah.
appreciate you having us over. Wishing you the very best from the Sunday Investing team. Hope you have a wonderful IPO and hope you're able to use the funds to the fullest extent.
Thank you so much, Rohit.
Thank you.